Look, I'm not being funny. I'm not saying it's all Muslims, but I went round to Majid Nawaz's house for a nice little chat. He opens the door, and the first words out of his mouth, yeah, no word of a lie, first words out of his mouth was, "Kettle's just boiled. How many sugars, mate?" I mean, I got a wife and kids, yeah? So what choice did I have? I climbed up a fucking step ladder and I twatted him!
Oh, hi, bitches. Well, it has come to my attention that there is a great deal of interest in this little bitch right here, Mr. Tommy Robinson. So I have decided, out of the kindness of my heart, that I should provide you with the After Effects project file that I used to create this cartoon. So if you follow the link down below, it will take you to this Google Drive folder in which I am going to add a whole bunch of characters as I go along with my life. But this is the one you want. Look at this. I've got a Chink one in there as well, but you want TommyRobinson.zip, so double click on that and use this cute little arrow up here to download it. And let's see, you will end up with something that looks a little bit like this. What you want to do is right click and go extract here, and that will extract all your files, and now you have a editable version of the After Effects file. So double click on that and boom, there it is. Right, you can go ahead and play this Tommy movie to see what I have done with it, but we ain't interested in that. We want to know what you is going to do with it. So how do you do that? Well, what you want to do is jump over to this tab right here, Tommy Puppet 2, and in there I have my audio that I've been using. We don't want that. We want to delete that, but what we want to look at first is this layer here. I've called it Face X, which, guess what? It stands for facial expressions. So if you go up here to the effect control tab, now we got all these little controllers that we're gonna use to move his face around. I'm gonna find a convenient place in the timeline where his mouth is open like that, and I'm going to talk you through them. Now, the chin slider is automatic. It's just activated by the volume of the audio, so we don't need to worry about that. The next one down is the ooh slider, which makes him go ooh, 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 just like that. Then we got the blink checkbox, which makes him go blink, blink, Then we got the brow angle. I am so proud of the brow angle. Guess what that does? Let me show you. You slide it across and it does that. It's just one single controller. It does all that shit. Ain't I clever? And then you've got the talker checkbox, which turns the talking on and off like this. Hey, shut the fuck up, Tommy. We don't want to hear from racists like you. And the other real exciting part, it's kind of a hidden feature. Look at this. I'm going to highlight Face X, and that is what Face X is. It's this null object up here. You can drag that around. I can't actually pick it up. There we go. I picked it up now. Look at that. His eyes are kind of following around where I put that little null object. Oh my God, I'm some kind of motherfucking genius. I just realized how to do this, so I'm going to add it to all the characters I make from now on. So, what you want to do is, first up, let's get rid of all of these keyframes that I've added in. You might need to zoom in and out of your timeline like that. You want to, let's see. Zoom in a little bit, move over there. I want to grab all of these keyframes and delete them. If you don't see those keyframes, I'll just put them back for you. If you don't see them for any reason, maybe it looks like this. Just highlight Face X, press U on your keyboard. You probably know all this shit. That brings up all the keyframes in that layer. Grab a hold of all of these keyframes. Maybe leave the first keyframes there because we might need them. They're kind of like the default positions. Delete all that shit. Then we're going to delete this audio. We don't need that. We want your audio on there. Let's see. I'm gonna look for some audio, some fresh motherfucking audio. Look at that. I got that MP3 file. Oh, wait a minute. I need to make sure my project panel is active. Gonna go and grab my new MP3, drop it into my project window like that, and boom, there it is. Grab a hold of that, drop it on his cute little face. Ooh. Then it's going to appear in the timeline right there. If you want to know what that sounds like, just go to the beginning of your timeline and then press period on your keyboard on the number pad like this.
I'm not being funny. I don't have any problem. I don't have any problem with moderate Muslims. But the problem is that moderate Muslims are all fucking liars.
See, that is actually, you won't believe this, that wasn't me. That was actual recorded footage of what Tommy Robinson actually said himself. No word of a lie, motherfucker. So what we need to do is turn that audio into a set of keyframes. The way you do that, obviously, you right click on the MP3 file, on the layer, you go to keyframe assistant, you go to convert audio to keyframes, just like that, and in a couple of seconds, boom, you get this new layer called audio amplitude right at the top. Now, we want to replace that with this old audio amplitude, so just go to the old one and delete it like that, and now hopefully this expression that I have put in the chin slider value right there, that should now be picking up this layer here, because it's called the same name, audio amplitude. Ooh! Now what you want to look for is the end of this line in the expression. I put a number. I put the number 6. It's multiplying this value right here by 6. So it all depends on how loud the volume is on your audio. You might need to change that number. The bigger the number, the more it's gonna move his motherfucking mouth. So number 6 should be okay, but if you need to change it, obviously just go in there, put a 5 in there or whatever. But I'm pretty sure a 6 works good for us. And let's see, what I'm going to do is I'm going to check it's working okay. Hold down control, scrub through your timeline. Nothing's happening. Is that because I've turned off... I've turned off the talker checkbox. We want to turn that back on like that. Now let's try it. That's so much better. That's what we want to see. Now then, if you ain't sure about I said about. I meant to say, if you ain't sure about how to use these controls, how to add keyframes, I'm going to provide a link to a tutorial that I did on the Lawrence Krauss puppet. It uses exactly the same technique to add in the keyframes right there. So you go ahead and do that. And then when you're finished, let's see. Oh, the other thing is, I've moved his arm at some point. I think it's over here. I've moved his arm. If you want to change that, get rid of that, you want to go to the arm rotation. You want to go to what I think I've called it a wrist somewhere. Wrist 1 rotation. Get rid of that. And also, I have this controller in the hand department. If you twirl that down, you want to look for time remap. And look at this. I've added a whole bunch of different hands right there. So that looks kind of freaky. But that's his normal hand. He's got a little fist there. I think he's got a kind of pointy hand. Something. There we go. If you want to add any of those, just drop a different number into the time remap value right there. So we want to stop. Was it a 2? We want a 2 there. That's nice. So you might want to get rid of the rotation properties and all of that shit. And then you can do whatever you want with his arms. So when you're happy with the way everything is set up, you can maybe jump into Tommy Movie. You want to add your own background, maybe, whatever you want, like that. And the way I have this rigged up is I have this null object that I've called stage, and that the character right there and the floor right there is connected to the stage, which means when I change the scale of the stage, everything zooms in and out, and I can move the stage around, up and down, all that kind of shit, move it out, Oh, wait a minute. I've gone out a bit too far there. Tommy is small, but he ain't that small. Ugh. So let's, I got the wrong one there. Let's zoom that stage back on in. And also, you probably want to make a longer composition than I have made. So obviously to do that, you want to change your composition settings. So it's just Control and K. And let's see, maybe you've made it like, I don't know, 5.5 minutes long, like that. Okay. Then you want to zoom all the way out of your timeline, grab a hold of all of these layers, stretch them out all the way like that. And now your composition can go on and on and on and on. Ramble on as much as you like and let me know what you come up with, because I is fascinated.